The Dubai financial market began the new trading week closing up over 1% today. The DFM ended the session at 2,325 from turnover of 1.5 billion dirhams, with approximately a third of that value coming from Emaar, also leading the gainers on 466 million dirhams worth of deals. Meanwhile, in the capital, the ADX rose 1.2% to 3,230 from turnover of 628 million dirhams, with Waha Capital leading the gainers on heavy trading. Here's a closer look at today's markets plus the currencies. Under the patronage of Her Highness Sheikha Manal bint Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, president of the Dubai Women's Establishment, a fragile calligrapher's trunk is going under the hammer. But the hammer is an auctioneer's hammer, and all money raised from the auction of the Louis Vuitton piece will go to the UAE Association for Down Syndrome. Kimberly Leonard went down to the trunk's unveiling this morning.
After Egypt, Dubai attracts more tourists per year than any other Arab country. Many of these tourists come from India, Iran and Russia, and for them, Dubai is the nearest market for luxury goods. And when it comes to these luxury goods, considered perhaps the ultimate is Louis Vuitton. Yves Carcel is the man widely credited with turning this luggage maker into the world's most profitable luxury brand, and one that isn't all about the bling.
I think for me, my definition of luxury, and anyone can have one, I think a luxury product is a product that brings you emotion. Whether you buy it, you offer it, you receive it, that has to generate emotion. And for me, bling is all about superficial.
The House of Louis Vuitton has been making luggage for 150 years, and it's been in Dubai for over a decade.
Well, Dubai is very important, as you see, is the most important city in the whole region. We've been present in Dubai since '97, so 12 years ago. And with the opening of this global store in Dubai Mall, it's our third presence in Dubai.
The Louis Vuitton monogram is the inspiration behind this, the house's tribute to its time here in the Middle East. The calligrapher's trunk celebrates and honors this ancient Arabic art and is now under the hammer, with all proceeds from the silent auction going to the UAE Association for Down Syndrome.
Being here since many years in the Middle East, we thought it was a great opportunity to emphasize a big part of the culture of the Middle East, which is all about poetry and calligraphy. And we had the idea to create the ultimate trunk for a calligraph.
It's all part of the Excellence du Savoir-Faire exhibition, pieces of which are on display at the LV shop in Dubai Mall. Once they're finished here, they'll be put up for auction in London, with all proceeds going to the Red Cross. Kimberly Leonard, Emirates News.
Today we hit the streets to ask you if you buy luxury goods. This is what you had to say.
Well, I buy expensive gifts. I buy the brand gifts, and then for myself, I just stick with Ralph Lauren and Tommy Hilfiger and that kind of stuff.
Actually, I'm choosing any of the brands, but mostly all my luggage and all my cupboard, it's full of expensive brands. Because I respect the quality, I do follow the fashion in one step, but sometimes I do buy some kind of Zara or H&M. For me, it doesn't matter. But accessories is the shoes and bags. It should be expensive for me.
Well, I prefer to go for the brands because there is a saying, I'm not too rich to buy cheap things. Yeah, so the quality always talk, and I prefer to go for premium high brands, which saves you money because it gives you again the quality and the fashion. It's always one step ahead.
Clothes items, usually it's like expensive brands, but if I go like for cars, it's usually average brands.
I don't go for just brands because they're brands, and Lulu and Outlet Mall provide a good selection.
Well, it's time for another break. Still to come, World Cup fever approaches as many teams celebrate securing a place in South Africa. And Canada's first space tourist is safely back on Earth. Stay with us. Those stories coming up after this short break.
The clock is ticking. We can live, or we can just mark time. What's it going to be?
20 good years.
Wake up! Wake up!
كوميديا جديدة عن حياة إما أن تمنحك كل شيء أو تسلب منك كل شيء.
We're living on the edge now, Jeffrey. Women will often strike us. Well, that was just rude.
John Lithgow.
The plunge into the Atlantic is the perfect kickstart. Join me, old friend. I am the reborn.
Jeffrey Tambor.
Do I need good years? It's not working. Remember our pact. You kick my ass, I kick yours, and together we live.
20 good years. الليلة 9:30 مساء 8:30 KSA على دبي 1.
This is to tell people that Flint is our hometown and there's no way on God's green earth we're the worst place in the whole country to live.
General Motors تغلق 11 مصنعاً في أمريكا.
General Motors confirmed it today. It is going to close plants employing almost 30,000 workers.
وتسرح 30,000 موظف.
We are announcing the closing of 11 of our older plants.
مايكل مور مخرج فيلم فahrenheit 9/11 يطرح الأسئلة على مديرها العام روجر سميث.
I have a television crew down here with Michael Moore. He's supposed to meet Roger Smith at noon.
ولكن لا حياة لمن تنادي.
We're going to try and see Roger Smith.
No, you're not.
If you can't get in there, you can't get in here either. Would you mind leaving?
This guy out.
أول فيلم وثائقي لمايكل مور روجر اند مي الليلة 10 مساء 9 KSA على دبي 1.
World soccer teams are battling out World Cup 2010 qualifiers, which will be hosted by South Africa. 18 teams have already guaranteed a chance at the Cup. The U.S. sealed its qualification with a 3-2 win over Honduras. Germany will head to South Africa after winning 1-0 against their rival Russia. Mexico defeated El Salvador 4-1, ensuring its 14th participation in the finals. Chile will make its first appearance at the World Cup since 1998 with a 4-2 victory over Colombia. And in a dramatic fashion, Italy snatched a 2-2 draw from Ireland and is heading to the finals. And more on the qualifiers. Thousands of people celebrated on the streets of Belgrade after Serbia won a smashing 5-0 victory over Romania. It earned Serbia an automatic ticket to the World Cup. Fans greeted players of the Serbian national soccer team who drove through the streets of Belgrade on a bus. The results mean the Serbians won Europe's Group 7 with a match to spare. This will mark Serbia's first participation in the World Cup as an independent nation.
I think that we've not just won and qualified, but we did it with authority, with a team that knows what it wants, with a team which has a bright future. And I can only say, Africa, Serbia is coming. I can assure you, this is inspiring for bigger deeds to continue. We feel good and we enjoy it.
Tonight's number in the news is 2,914. The UAE Red Crescent Authority's field hospital in Indonesia continues to attend to quake victims. So far, the hospital has treated 2,914 cases. It's providing medical assistance to many in the affected towns and villages and conducting surgeries as well. Officials say the hospital had established a fraternal bond with the people of the affected areas. Filipinos displaced by landslides are struggling to rebuild their lives after Typhoon Parma hit the northern part of the country, leaving almost 200 dead. Dana Katauna reports.
People living in the northern Filipino town of Burgos in La Union province are still struggling to rebuild their lives as landslides damaged roads and houses after Typhoon Parma first hit the country on October the 3rd. The country's disaster agency says this was the hardest hit, with nearly 150 people killed in landslides. Residents have started to move out of the town to reach less affected areas. However, the damaged roads makes it difficult for anyone to travel. The road leading to the nearest city, Baguio, is damaged and people need to walk 5 to 6 hours from Burgos town to reach the location. Despite the calamity, people are still fighting to make a living.
I need to work even if there are many calamities. Life must go on. That's why I need to leave the mountain city.
We have no money because of the typhoon. I have to walk all the way to the mountain city and sell my product in the market, or my family will go hungry.
The Burgos town police chief Rodolfo Lomboy managed to evacuate his family when the house was stopped by a base of a tree standing on the edge of the ravine. He says he might have saved his loved ones, but all his belongings are gone.
This is the most difficult thing that happened to my family. We're now back to zero. It took me 25 years to save for the house because I'm about to retire. I was hoping for a restful life. Now it's all gone, but we can do nothing. Nature made this happen.
Parma first hit the Philippines on October the 3rd and hovered around the northern part of Luzon throughout the week. It has since weakened into a tropical depression and moved out to sea. The floods and mudslides came 2 weeks after another storm, Kitsana, which inundated areas in and around the capital Manila, killing at least 337 people and forcing 500,000 from their homes. Donna Katauna, Emirates News.
Canada's first space tourist is safely back on Earth. Guy Laliberté, the founder of Cirque du Soleil, paid $35 million for the trip. The Russian Soyuz capsule carrying Laliberté and 2 other space travelers landed safely in Kazakhstan earlier today. The Canadian wore a clown nose during his stay abroad on the International Space Station. While he was in space, Laliberté hosted a global webcast to promote his crusade to preserve the world's water resources. As always, here at Emirates News, we welcome feedback from our viewers. Tonight, we respond to a viewer named Amy. Amy writes, I'm a big fan of your daily news broadcast. I watch Emirates News every night to update myself about the ever-changing Dubai. I am currently in year 12, and I aspire to become a journalist someday. Thanks for that, Amy. I hope you continue to watch the show, and by all means, send us your CV when you graduate. Now let's take a look at the local and the international weather forecasts. And now here's a recap of tonight's main headlines. The Vice President issues a decree to transfer various media entities to Dubai Media Incorporated. Reports indicate the UAE's real estate sector is set to grow. And in Far East Asia, Filipinos struggle to rebuild their lives after Typhoon Parma hit the northern part of the country. And on that, we end tonight's program. If you have any comments or suggestions, we'd love to hear them. You can email us at emirates.news@dubai1.ae. If you miss an episode of Emirates News, you can watch a streaming video of it on our website. The address is dubai1.ae. Thanks for watching, everyone, and good night.
Before his untimely death in June 2009, Michael Jackson was planning to wow audiences in a series of sold-out London performances. Those shows are never to be. But now fans can get a look at the spectacle that should have been in This Is It. Here's a preview.
There's Michael.
The man is here. We're all here because of him. May that continue with him leading the way.
This is the moment. This is it. It's an adventure. It's a great adventure. You want to take them places that you've never been before. You want to show them town like you've never seen before. Let's do it one more time. I love you. I really do. You're family, just know that.
You've been hit by, you've been struck by a smooth criminal.
Hold for applause, fade out.
Michael has a depth to him that people don't really know.
This is a dream come true. When MJ comes in the room, his presence is just amazing.
That's why I write these kind of songs. It gives some sense of awareness and awakening and hope to people.
The why at the center of everything we're doing is so much about this.
I feel so blessed that I can give the world that. Let's offer love. L-O-V-E.
I've got some unfortunate news for you.
He was having an affair.
Francesca is a newly divorced writer.
Freedom. See freedom.
Her friends are going to surprise her. A lifetime chance.
Welcome to your first day of a romantic tour.
Romantic Tuscany.
Ramazzole. Are you going to buy it? So you bought a villa in Tuscany. It needs a little work. Well, who's going to do it? I can hire the muscular descendants of Roman gods to do the heavy lifting.
see you have survived the storm.
Marcello! Wait there, I'm coming down.
She went looking for a love. Then she found something else. Under the Tuscan Sun. Tuesday, 10 p.m. UAE, 9 p.m. KSA on Dubai One. This movie is brought to you by
And a very warm welcome to our brand new program, Dubai Tonight. I'm Darine Abu Gaida. Each week you'll have a ringside seat as we talk tough with guests ranging from CEOs to statesmen, politicians to playwrights, royalty to rock stars. And we want you to get involved. Who would you like to see in the hot seat? And what topics matter to you the most? Do send us your suggestions to DubaiTonight@dmi.ae. Plus, you can check out our shows online anytime. That's at DubaiOne.ae. Well, to kick things off, a subject that affects every single person living in the Emirate today. If you rent, own, or even design and build properties in Dubai, our first show is essential viewing for you. Over the next half hour, we'll be covering every aspect of the real estate and engineering industry, from how it's surviving the recession to how you can capitalize on property prices at these levels. We'll bring you all these answers and, of course, much more from the UAE's biggest construction company, Arab Tech. Well, the man controlling the purse strings at the firm, Chief Financial Officer Ziad Makhzoumi, will join me. Well, let's set the scene and take a look at the city we see built around us today.
One man, one vision. One country transformed from sand dunes to city in less than a decade. The numbers, like the speed of progress, will make your head spin. Dubai boasts an estimated 470 skyscrapers, with a further 300 under construction. Whilst Dubai's real estate market has undergone a massive correction in the past 12 months, consultants CB Richard Ellis are keen to silence the critics who say the property market's foundations are built on sand.
Dubai has a continuing advantage over the rest of Middle Eastern competitive cities at the moment because it has a level of investment and infrastructure that no one else in the region has been able to match thus far.
At the very backbone of the Emirates' expansion is Dubai's construction industry, a sector dominated in the UAE by industry titan Arab Tech. The company has felt the financial pinch in recent years as raw material costs soared as the housing boom took flight. However, today's cooler economic climate, says investment bank EFG Hermes, is making it easier to build within a budget.
Construction costs have fallen by about 30% on average since peaks last year. In particular, cement and steel have come down. As a result, larger construction companies are able to push ahead with execution quite smoothly and also benefit from higher profitability.
Lower construction costs, improved lending conditions and more affordable prices for consumers are the very cornerstones upon which Dubai's real estate industry is building its future success. Which is all well and good, but are those much-needed buyers really out there? A resounding yes, said real estate consultants Jones Lang LaSalle at this year's Cityscape. Their latest research showing there are currently more buyers than sellers in this market, and the findings are trickling right down to the high street. Marian Abuthina of Better Homes explains.
We've seen a significant increase over the last 3 months of around 30% in sales and mortgages. And if this trend continues, then 2010 is looking very good.
Dubai holds fast to the theory, build it and they will come. And with the Emirate ranking #1 in the World Economic Forum's latest survey on competitiveness and availability of quality real estate assets, it would appear that the sun has far from set on this story. Rebecca McLaughlin, Dubai Tonight.
Ziad, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Ziad, so against the backdrop of the global financial crisis and this real estate slowdown that we've been seeing, many construction companies have failed. Why?
Well, I mean, many construction, because a lot of them are either related to a specific market or a specific sector that they are working in. In our case, I mean, we were lucky that there was an incredible boom in Dubai. I mean, the last few years have been really incredible. As we said, you had a program that other countries will take possibly 10 to 20 years to implement, where in Dubai it was done in a matter of years. So in that sense, we were very, very lucky to be here. I mean, we're a very good company, but if the opportunity was not there, created in Dubai, we would not have succeeded in achieving. So we were there at the right time when the opportunity came to us, or came to everybody else, and we're one of the people that benefited from that.
But these companies that weren't able to make it, I mean, did it surprise you that they still floundered, and that's despite initiatives that were put in place by the government here to really help them?
Well, I mean, again, I mean, if you're again, this should not be seen as a negative statement on others. Everything you have to do is plan and see what is coming. I mean, if you're too focused, too concentrated all the time, and you miss the signs that things are changing. So if people did not anticipate the change, we did last year. I mean, that was my first job as a CFO, to start planning for the downturn, because the whole world was collapsing. It's got nothing to do with Dubai.
Yeah.
Dubai, I mean, if you see what we are doing, our program, we were lucky because we're still carrying on with the projects that we started 2 and 3 years ago. So that's really what helped us. But meanwhile, we knew that things are going to change. So we started planning. We expanded in Abu Dhabi, we expanded in Qatar, we expanded in Saudi Arabia, and now we're looking at other markets too. So anybody who did not make that change is suffering now.
What lures you to the world of construction, and why should we know Arab Tech as a name?
Well, I mean, nothing lured me. I mean, what lured me really is the amazing leader, that CEO, the CEO of Arab Tech, Mr. Riyad Kamal, his personality and his vision. And we actually spent, funnily enough, a few hours having lunch in Nice before we both decided that we want to work together. So it was the personality and not just the sector. And of course, the sector was